Police in New York City have arrested at least one person in connection to a stabbing at New York's Penn Station last night. At least one of the injuries is considered serious. Police sources say it was a random attack with no known terror links. But listen to this. Penn Station sits just below Madison Square Garden, and that is where the president will attend Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight. So that means heightened security was already planned. But now this latest incident does raise questions. The police commissioner explained why the watch parties that were supposed to be held outside of the garden have been canceled.
With the Secret Service made the decision for Game 3, where we have a presidential visit, that we could not support watch parties right outside of the garden. We are looking forward to bringing back watch parties for Game 4, as I mentioned. But I think New Yorkers are used to presidents coming to town, and they understand that that generally means lockdowns of areas, and that's what you're going to see tonight at the Garden.
We are now joined by former Homeland Security Department advisor Charles Marino. He is also a former Secret Service special agent, so he knows a lot about these kinds of events and how to keep people safe from many angles. Thank you so much for joining us. So this latest stabbing at Penn Station, how does it complicate security for the president's visit?
Well, the enhanced security measures will automatically take care of that. That's more a longer-term issue for the NYPD as it relates to quality of life in Penn Station and the surrounding area. So not only will it be enhanced and surged from a law enforcement standpoint outside the perimeter, including Penn Station, but I think going forward in the long term, you'll likely see the NYPD focus on solving many of the problems that they're having in that area.
So given what we've seen over the past, several months, including what just happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, what kinds of threats are being looked at ahead of this game?
Yeah, so as you alluded to, what's already a high level of security plan for the NBA Finals will be further enhanced, as indicated by the closure of those watch parties in the outer perimeter, because those need to remain sterile as part of a presidential visit. The Secret Service will bring in a lot of resources. They will assume responsibility typically for the screening of fans, which fans should give extra time for. If people don't have business in and around the Garden, they should stay away from the area because it will be locked down and they won't be able to get through. They'll also bring additional technologies, things like the closure of airspace. So a lot of regulatory measures come into play, as well as the increased technologies and the close working relationship, which is very good, pre-existing between the Secret Service, the NYPD, Madison Square Garden, and the NBA. The Secret Service works with all of those agencies and organizations. And so this is really nothing new, but in light of the threat environment, and you're right to point out the Correspondents' Dinner, the Secret Service has continued to adapt and will have to continue to do so going forward.
Nothing new, Charles, but how unique is this? Because we're talking about a huge venue where thousands of people will be in attendance. Just a few days ago, there was a fan that stormed the court and was able to get to the court to try to take a selfie with a player. I mean, this is unique. You have the vendors who are in the stadium, not to mention all the activity outside and under the Garden at Penn Station.
Right. While it may seem unique, it's not. Let's remember, a lot of these arenas and stadiums host a lot of presidents, vice presidents, and other high-level government officials. So, those pre-existing relationships are important. The Secret Service is not foreign to having to work with private security companies that work in and around Madison Square Garden, and of course the facility itself, and local police. So all of these relationships, the pre-existing awareness of how they operate, how they work, what they're specifically responsible for as you get a high-level government official like the president entering the building is all good for the overall planning.
All right, Charles. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Charles.